Sawadee Kop. Welcome to Break Time with Monte. Today's story, Taxi Crackdown. Gone from today, drivers rejecting passengers, using bad language, failing to take passengers to their destinations, reckless driving, and refusing to use the meter. Crackdown on unruly taxi drivers begins. Authorities kicked off their campaign to get tough with unruly taxi drivers Wednesday, including those who refuse to use meters and turn away passengers. Colonel Wairat Wongchan, deputy commander of the 11th Military Circle, said the military unit, the Land Transport Department, LTD, the Royal Thai Police, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, BMA, and other agencies concerned are working together to inspect taxi services in a bid to boost convenience and safety for passengers. The move is in line with National Council for Peace and Order policy, he said, adding that police, army, and other officials will perform strict driver checks. According to Colonel Wairat, both uniformed and plainclothes officers will focus on 8 key spots: Future Park Rangsit, Yawarat, Mochit Bus Station, Central World, MBK, Platinum Fashion Mall in Pratunam, Wat Prokal, and Soy Nana. Officers will also inspect taxis in front of other shopping malls, community areas, heavy traffic zones, and bus terminals. LTD Chief Asedathai Ratanadilok Na Phuket said drivers will be checked to ensure they have proper licenses. Drivers must not refuse to take passengers and are obliged to use the meter during the journey and wear appropriate attire, he said. Violators could face a fine of 1,000 baht or risk having their taxi driving licenses revoked. Operators of taxi services could also be held accountable for any offenses. The deployment of officers to carry out inspections will be intense over the next 2 or 3 days, Mr. Adsathai said. Also targeted are drivers who reject Thai passengers in favor of foreigners, whom they rip off by refusing to use the meter and taking longer routes to destinations. These practices must be stopped, as they cause trouble for the public and affect the country's image among foreign tourists, the LTD's chief said. He said the LTD will launch a special training program for taxi drivers on August 30 for those who do not yet have proper licenses. Drivers can then submit the training certificate and sit an exam if they want to obtain taxi licenses, he said. According to Mr. Asad Thai, 10 to 20% of 160,000 taxi drivers still do not have the correct licenses. The LTD also urged taxi garages to deliver records of taxi drivers and contact numbers to the agency quickly, or be prepared to face the consequences for failing to cooperate. A total of 23,753 complaints about cab drivers were made via the call center number 1584 between October and July. Common complaints include drivers rejecting passengers, using bad language, failing to take passengers to their destinations, reckless driving, and refusing to use the meter. A total of 14,865 drivers were summoned to report to authorities. 32 licenses were suspended and 1 revoked. Now, today's vocabulary. Accountable, accountable. Appropriate, appropriate. Attire, attire. Authority, authority. Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. Bid, bid. Boost, boost. Campaign, campaign. Certificate, certificate. Commander, commander. Common, common. Community, community. Complaint, complaint. Concerned, concerned. Consequence, consequence. Convenience, convenience. Cooperate, cooperate. Crackdown, crackdown. Deployment, deployment. Deputy, deputy. Destination, destination. Ensure, ensure. Focus, focus. Get tough with, get tough with. Image, image. In favor of, in favor of. In line with, in line with. Inspect, inspect. Inspection, inspection. Intense, intense. Kick off, kick off. Launch, launch. License, license. National Council for Peace and Order, National Council for Peace and Order. Obliged, obliged. Obtain, obtain. Offense, offense. Operator, operator. Passenger, passenger. Plainclothes officers, plainclothes officers. Policy, policy. Practice, practice. Proper, proper. Cue, cue. Reckless, reckless. Refuse, refuse. Reject, reject. Revoke, revoke. Rip off, rip off. Route, route, spot, spot, stake out, stake out, strict, strict, submit, submit, summoned, summoned, suspended, suspended, target, target, terminal, terminal, unruly, unruly, urge, urge, via, via, violator, violator, zone, zone. That's today's story and vocabulary. You have a great day. I'll see you next time on Break Time with Monte.